Thank you for attending the executive webinar session at American Workflows Enterprise Software Company. American Workflows Enterprise Software Company is a world-class enterprise software publishing and enterprise software distribution company based in New York. American Workflows Enterprise Software Company is active nationally and internationally. For more information about American Workflows Enterprise Software Company and its enterprise software products, please visit the corporate website at www.americanworkflows.com. To get the executive webinar session started, I would like to invite the managing partner of American Workflows Enterprise Software Company, Mr. Kevin Divisiglu. Kevin, floor is yours. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for introductions. Today, we'll talk about ISO 9001 and also customer satisfaction management that are very important for ISO 9001. And also, we'll talk about how to execute with the help of the marvelous social CRM software. The marvelous social CRM software is offered to market by American Workflows, and it is designed to help businesses perform CRM and customer relationship management activities easily in a digital environment. As per the introductions earlier, my name is Kevin Deveci. I am the managing partner of American Workflows Enterprise Software Company based in New York with global presence. Today, I have my colleagues online and we'll learn and talk about ISO 9001 and how to perform customer relationship management activities with the help of the marvelous social CRM software. Today with us, we have Alex Kvartirov, who is the president of Emraz Consulting. Alex is the subject matter expert for today's executive webinar series, and he's an ISO 9001 lead auditor. Also today, we have Batu Satılmış with us. He's a pre-sales software specialist at American Workflows Enterprise Software Company. Right after Alex's presentation, we'll see the marvelous CRM, marvelous social CRM software in action, and Batu will be performing the demonstration. And I'd like to welcome you one more time to the executive webinar series that we are presenting today from American Workflows. Okay, great. So let's start with Alex's presentation. Alex has been in ISO 9001 market for a long time. He's very experienced in business as well as ISO 9001 implementations. So we have a lot to learn from Alex as the subject matter expert today. Let's learn from Alex. I know you may have some questions. I also received some questions earlier, so we'll address your questions later in the Q&A session of these live executive webinar session. Okay, great.
Sure.
So Alex, hello, Alex. Thank you for joining today's webinar. So I'm gonna stop sharing so you can share your screen if that's okay.
Sure. Okay, share.
All right, it's coming up.
Okay. Can you see my screen?
Yes, it looks perfect.
Yes. Okay, very good.
Thank you, Alex.
So hello, Kevin, and hello, Batu. Thank you for inviting me to present this very brief introduction to ISO 9001. But specifically, I would like to discuss and address customer satisfaction. So as you will see later on in my presentation, customer satisfaction is maybe the most important part of ISO. Okay, now, again, for simplicity, I will kind of stay within the framework of ISO 9001, which is the generic ISO. And there are a lot of other ISOs which specialize in different fields, such as automotive, aerospace, medical, food industry, and so on. But in effect, 80% of all of the specialized ISO is really covered by ISO 9001. So if you have a good understanding of ISO 9001, then it'll give you a lot of information for all of the specialized ISOs. So, okay, let's proceed. Okay, just a brief introduction about my company, Amros Consulting. I'm a certified ISO 9001 lead auditor and the sole proprietor of Amros Consulting. I've established my consulting company in 2015 after a rather lengthy career as a project manager in a large aerospace company, which was certified to the AS 9100 quality standard. AS 9100 is the ISO, which focuses on aerospace and military applications. So the purpose of my company is to provide consulting services for various types of businesses to help them achieve and maintain ISO certification. And for a number of years, I've been working with Kevin to support the application of software tools, which obviously you'll hear a lot more during this presentation, that will help you in managing and dealing with ISO implementation as well as quality management, because basically ISO establishes the rules of how to deal with quality management. Okay, to start, I would like to just introduce the quality management principles, which is really the backbone of ISO. Okay, and obviously, as you can see, the first thing is customer focus, and this is what today's meeting is really addressing. And there's obviously a lot of other issues which ISO manages and controls, but again, today we'll focus on the customer. And as you can see, it's the main thing in ISO is customer focus. And what is customer focus? How do you achieve that? And obviously the main purpose is to make your customer happy, okay? Because a happy customer will come back to you. And again, through word of mouth, it's going to spread to other companies that, you know, we were satisfied with, you know, the services. So it's very important to maintain that. And there are three major elements of customer focus. Obviously, it's to define the customer requirement. Now, it seems like it's very simple. You know, if customers looking, let's say, for a mousetrap, well, there are certain elements of the mousetrap that need to be defined. But this is obviously a very simple example. But sometimes the customer sort of thinks what he wants to get, but when you come to the details are not defined. And this is where it is very important as part of the as the process of working with your customer is to make sure that there's a complete understanding of what the customer is looking for. The next part of customer focus is to deliver a quality product. And again, it applies to service if you're providing a service. But again, here to deliver a product, you want to make sure that there are as few as possible non-conformances. In other words, you'd like your product to be perfect every time, which, you know, it will not happen in reality, but this is what you have to strive for. So if you have a quality product, it will make your customer happy. And the final issue is obviously meet the customer schedule. Now, that's a tough one because if you rely on the supply chain, that means that your suppliers that are needed for the parts components to build the product for your customer has to be delivered on time. And as you are probably aware, there have been a lot of issues with the supply chain. So, but again, that could be managed as long as if there's any delays due, let's say, to the supply chain, then obviously the customer needs to be informed as to the reason why there's a change to the schedule. So it's very important to have a continuous dialogue with your customer. And there are other, obviously, management principles, which I will really not address today, and that will be maybe a subject for a future webinar. But so let's focus on right now on the customer. But before I get into the details of what ISO requires, what ISO requires you as the manufacturer or who is providing the service, is what you have to do to keep the customer satisfaction. So I want to introduce ISO, and this again applies to all the ISOs. And this is a diagram called Plan, Do, Check, Act cycle, which was developed by Deming, who was a quality guru. And I think it's a really beautiful diagram because it shows on one page a very simple concept of what ISO is all about. And as you can see, if you'll follow the arrow inside this quality management system block diagram, it's continuous loop. Okay, what it means, it's continuous improvement. No matter how good your organization is, there's always room for improvement. Okay, so one aspect of ISO is continuous improvement. But again, looking at the diagram, we have different parts of the diagram have a number associated, which is shown in parentheses. And that it reflects the ISO structure, which is on the right. And really, it has paragraphs 4 or clauses 4 through 10. The first 3 clauses are basically an introduction, definition, and so on. So there are no specific requirements in sections 1 through 3. So the meat of the requirements for ISO is in clauses 4 through 10. So the numbers on the diagram in parentheses reflect the clause of the ISO. So if you look at the diagram on the left side, it all deals with clause 4, which is the context of the organization. So what is your organization, how it's structured to support the customer requirements? And obviously, as you can see, what's driving this quality management system is the customer requirements. And like I said before, sometimes they're not well defined, they have holes in them, but this is very important, is to keep working with the customer to make sure that the requirements are clearly defined so that there's a complete understanding between you as the manufacturer and the customer of what he's looking for, okay? So then, once you have all of that information available, then you go into a planning stage, which is clause 6. After completion of the planning is really the meat of the operation. This is where the operation, the support that's required, and the actual performance of the manufacturing or the service that you're providing is done. And that would be in clause 7 and 8. So clause 7 deals with the resources, so it's equipment, manpower, and so on that's needed to perform the operation, which is the actual manufacturing process. And then once you've developed your product or service, then you do a evaluation of your product or service. And you can see now there's quite a bit of interface with the customer, because you have to really, before you deliver to the customer, you have to make sure that the product or service meets the customer requirements. So there's an interchange with the customer, and hopefully when you get feedback from the customer, it would mostly be positive. However, in most likely, there will be some negative feedback. There will be some issues, some non-conformances with the product. And this is where you have to establish your internal process of how you deal with non-conforming items. And then obviously, when you evaluate, what's happening, what are the issues, you then go into the improvement cycle, where you look at how your process can be improved. And then once you define let's say the low-hanging fruit of what you can improve, then you go back into the planning stage, and the whole thing repeats itself. So this, in effect, you stay, or you can actually have multiple loops going at the same time in order to keep improving your organization. All right, let's now look at specifically, and we're looking by clauses where the customer is really referenced in ISO, okay? So if you look at the obviously the first clause, it's 4.2, which is obviously the inputs. And here in clause 4.2, it says, how are the interested parties? So interested parties are obviously your customers, impact your organization in terms of quality of products and services. So obviously, there has to be an understanding of what the customer is looking for as far as quality. And then, so there's going to be an interaction between you and the customer to define what the customer is looking for in terms of quality. Now, actually, I did not mention before, but if you look at the diagram, in the center, you have leadership, management, and leadership, and they obviously control all the aspects of the quality management system. So that's really clause 5, and that's where the leadership management comes in, and management must be committed to make sure that the organization understands the importance of fulfilling the customer requirements. So again, management participates in the ISO process. And in the case of the customer, they want to make sure that throughout the entire organization, customer satisfaction is considered by all of the employees. So that basically stated in clauses 5.1 and 5.2. And then we come to clause 8, which is really the manufacturing of your product, or the definition of what the service is. And obviously, here it's extremely important to have a continuous communication with your customer in regards to what you're building or what kind of service you're providing. Is this what they really want? And sometimes this becomes iterative, where when you present to the customer what you're going to be delivering, the customer may say, well, that's not quite what we want. We want you to fine tune. And so it's much better to do that fine tuning before your final product is built and delivered, because later on it's going to be much more expensive for you to redesign the product that the customer is looking for. So again, if you look in clause 8.2, 8.3, so 8.2 deals with the requirements, whereas 8.3 deals with the actual design of the development of the product or the service. So there it's at the lower level, it's much more detailed in specifying what the customer will be getting. And also part of clause 8 is 8.5, which is the post-delivery activities. Okay, you deliver your product, but then obviously there has to be an agreement. What do you do post-delivery? How long do you support the product? What happens when product is within the warranty period and it needs to be repaired. So all of those issues have to be defined and identified before you actually get into the contract. Now, again, a very important clause 8.7 deals with the control of non-conforming products. Now, as I mentioned before, ideally, you want all of your product to be perfect, okay? But it really, in real life, it doesn't happen. There will be some non-conforming, some defects with what you deliver. And also, it could be initially, it could be working, then it could fail as part of the operation. So, very important part of this control of non-conforming products is what is your internal corrective action and implementation approach, all right? So obviously, if your customer sends you defective products, then you have to deal with it. You have to establish a process of how you segregate the defective products, and then what do you do with it? Do you perform an analysis as to why it failed? Why is it defective? And again, all during this process, you have to keep the customer informed that you're working on it and you're trying to come up with a solution. And sometimes it may require that maybe some components within the product have failed and you may have to change some components. And sometimes you may have to deliver a product that's does not fully meet the requirements, but in that case you have to get an authorization from the customer for them to accept this product under concession if it doesn't fully meet the requirements. So obviously clause 9 deals with monitoring, measuring, performing the analysis and evaluation of your product. It's an ongoing process, and again, it involves constant communication with your customer. Obviously, hopefully, most of the feedback from your customer will be positive, but you expect also negative feedback, and you have to deal with it. But again, you cannot keep your customer in the dark. If any problems come up, you have to inform the customer. And then, of course, as I mentioned before, maintain continuous improvement. And that could be independent of the customer. Continuous improvement can be done in many areas to improve your quality management system. And it could, have many purposes to maybe improve your testing, reduce the non-conforming items, or to make it more efficient, make the whole process more efficient, which will obviously increase your revenue and obviously improve the bottom line. So another important clause is 9.3, which requires the organization to perform at least once a year a management review, okay? And during that, as part of this review, an analysis has to be done concerning customer satisfaction. If obviously customer has been satisfied, then that information is very useful in marketing your product to other potential customers. However, complaints have to be also processed, and a survey needs to get done if based on the customer complaints. And really what this is lessons learned, because with the customer surveys, they identify what some of the issues are, and this is how you learn to make improvements to your organization. And then obviously, hopefully, the number of complaints will diminish. And I think Batu will specifically show with the software tool how customer surveys can be used to help you manage your quality management system. So this is the extent of my presentation. And again, thank you very much for your attention. And I guess I'll, then let Kevin take over and introduce your great tools.
Yes, absolutely. Alex, thank you so much for this important presentation, and thank you for your insights. Very important that we all learn the fundamentals of ISO 9001. And you actually made a great point earlier. It is good for any type of business. So that is critical that we understand the fundamentals of it. And we have some questions that we are receiving. So let's address those questions, if that's okay, during the Q&A session after Batu's demonstration and my presentation, if that's all right.
Absolutely, yes.
Thank you, Alex. Okay, perfect. So let's continue the flow of our executive webinar session at American Workflows today. Well, until now, we talk about ISO 9001, fundamentals of it on a very, very high level, thanks to Alex's informative presentation. Now let's talk about the marvelous social CRM software, and let's have the show and tell session. In this session, I'm going to be inviting my colleague, Batu, to the virtual stage, and Batu will be performing the demonstration of the marvelous social CRM software system. Today, we are focusing on the customer relationship management. So from that point of view, talking about these helpful CRM software from the ISO point of view is very complementary to today's executive webinar session. So let's look at the software, let's see it in action, but we will show you on a high level as to how you can manage customer relationship digitally on this easy to use, very modern software system. He will also show us how to use this software for customer surveys to get feedback, positive feedback or negative feedback for continuous improvement. Each customer feedback is an opportunity for improvement, whether that's negative or positive. So in that sense, the software is designed to help businesses gather these feedback in different formats. Okay, sounds good. I'm gonna stop sharing, but are you there?
Yes, Kevin, I'm here.
Okay, perfect. Why don't you share your screen and tell us about the marvelous social CRM software?
Of course.
The floor is yours.
Thank you, Kevin.
Okay, looks good.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Today, I'll be showing the marvelous CRM. Let's start with the dashboard. As you can see in the opportunity studies section, a donut chart presents a snapshot of current sales opportunities. Currently, we have a total of 5 opportunities. Moving on to the opportunity value, notice the horizontal bars indicating a total revenue of $500. This signifies that while many opportunities are still in play, one has contributing $100 to the revenue. The conversion rate chart here shows a critical metric indicating the effectiveness of the sales strategy. In the final section, we see the stages each lead passes through, from initial contact to a demo scheduling. Each step is quantified, providing a transparent view of the sales process. The stage distribution parallels this information, offering another perspective on the funnel's performance. As we continue, we observe a color-coded task list helps prioritize follow-ups, a crucial aspect of lead conversion. Lastly, the lead source support breaks down the origin of leads. Currently, one lead is from an undisclosed source, while 4 leads are generated from form 0, suggesting a primary channel for potential customers. Moving on to the calendars interface. As you can see here, offers a comprehensive view of the month ahead. We can see the clean layout, the initial navigation, and the ease of access to any day required. With a click, you can switch to daily view, where each hour is neatly segmented, allowing you to schedule your appointments with precision down to the minute. Over the right, you have a handy mini calendar for quick day navigation and the user search bar, simplifying the process of managing multiple calendars at once. In the Appointments tab, each entry here clearly displays the name, status, title, requested time, and the ownership of the appointments. With the user-friendly sorting options and the new Appointments button on the top right, you are always one click away from adding or rearranging your schedules. I'll be moving on to the conversations. Here, you'll see initiative interface designed to streamline your communication. With a simple, clean layout, this step ensures that no customer query goes unnoticed. You can easily filter through unread, recent, shared, or all. Conversations stay on top of every interactions. Next is the templates snippet section. Here, you can create, store, and manage message templates to ensure consistent and efficient communication. In order to do that, we can simply click on Add Template. We can either add it by text or an email. Let's go with text. I'm going to have to put a name and description. As you can see, whatever I put on the description, I can see it on the right side as well. And when I'm ready to save, we'll click on Save, and that will update our dashboard. Next, our Opportunities tool empowers you to adaptively manage your sales pipeline. This is where all your potential clients begin their journey from prospects to profits. Starting at the top, you can see the marvelous lead management dropdown. This versatile feature allows you to switch between different lead pools, making it simple to manage multiple campaigns or product lines from one central location. Moving to the left column, we see new lead need to call. Every fresh opportunity begins here. With a clear indication of the action required, it ensures no lead goes unattended. Each card represents a unique individual, like Mark Demo here, waiting for their first connection. Clicking on Mark Demo, you can see his contact details, potential deal value, and the best ways to reach out. Next to new lead need to call, we have the no answer left VM and text column. It's crucial in tracking follow-ups. Eric Demo 2 has been placed here, a subtle nudge reminding you of leads that require that second touch. The middle column, schedule a demo, is your indicator of progress. A lead like Kevin has shown interest and is engaging further. It's a commitment to discover more about what you offer. Moving on to the no show or no response and follow up in 1 week columns. They are currently empty, representing potential actions rather than current activities. And finally, client close and client no interest in columns. And these are every lead destination. The top right features keeps your workflow smooth. Search opportunities ensures you never lose a track of lead, while sort by gives you control over how you view your potential clients. And when you're ready to add a new opportunity, the plus opportunity button is your gateway to new business. In order to add a new opportunity, we can select the contact name, their email, phone number, and we're gonna have to put our opportunity details, such as opportunity name, pipeline, stages, status, name of the business, and opportunity source. And when we're all done, we're gonna hit on create, and that will update our opportunities. Next, we have the payments feature. Let's start with the invoices section. With a clean interface, you can generate detailed invoices, track which are due, overdue, or drafted, and even set up reminders for your clients. In order to add a new invoice, we can simply click on plus new and hit new invoice. As you can see at the top, we have the company's information. Below that, we see who billed to, and we click on add client, and we're gonna go with Dame Demo 4. After we're done with the who we're gonna bill to, we're gonna choose our item. We're gonna go with copy mug and click on save. As you can see, the prices got updated, and we can see the amount too. And once you're all done, we'll be clicking on save, and we get this notification says invoice saved. And we'll go back and we'll be seeing our brand new invoice that updated in real time. Moving on to the documents and contracts section. Here, you can manage proposals, estimates, and contracts. You can also draft new documents and sign up for signatures and track their status all from one place. Let's add a new document, for example. Let's click on new document. When we hit a new document, this blank page will come up. We're gonna hit on add an element. First, I'm gonna go with tax. I'm gonna add a new element, and that's gonna be our product list. As you can see, it's super easy, drag and drop. And lastly, I wanted the signature on the bottom right of the page. In here, we'll put the details. Below that, we're gonna put an item. I'm gonna go with coffee mug again, and add an item again. Once we're all done, we're gonna click on save. We see this notification say success. Let me go back. We'll be seeing our brand new document. In here. Lastly, gonna be talking about payment links. Here, you can quickly generate URLs for direct payments, facilitating a smooth transaction process for both one-time and recurring billing. Let's move on to the marketing. Starting on the email campaigns dashboard. Here, you can access all the components necessary for setting up your campaigns, including templates, snippets, and trigger links. In order to add a new email campaign, we can simply click on new. We're gonna go with blank. I have a choice here. I can either choose this as a design editor or a code editor. This time I'm gonna go with design editor. And this page will come up. First, I'm gonna delete this one, and I'll be adding a text below view this email browser. And after that, I wanna add an image. And below image, lastly, I wanna add a button. And this will be our new email campaign. I'll be saving this. As you can see, we have the save notification. And we will be going back. And we'll be seeing our brand new email campaign up here. Moving on to the templates. I want to add a new template, but this time I'm going to add as an email. I'm going to be naming test, for example. Test again. So hi. Again, whatever I write on the left side, I'll see the preview on the right side. And once I'm all done, we'll click on save. And it will show up in here. We also have the trigger links. If you want to add a new trigger link, basically, you can add a link with the name and the URL. We are moving on to automation. Here, you can create and manage workflows that streamline your tasks, enhance efficiency, and ramp up your conversion rates. Let's explore a job workflow by clicking on here. This workflow combines appointment confirmations, reminders, surveys, and review requests into a single streamlined process. It's still in the draft stage, meaning it's ready for you to finalize and activate. If I want to add a new trigger, I can simply click on new trigger, and this will come up all our workflow triggers, such as contacts, events, appointments, opportunities, and so on. For this example, I want to add a contact change, and I'm going to be clicking on contact, a filter, assign user. I'm going to be saving the trigger, and it's simple as that. I just add my trigger contact change trigger. If I want to add something between the triggers, I can simply click on plus, and I can add whatever I want on my action list. Let's go back. Next, we have the sites. Here, you're equipped to create sales funnels, build websites, and design forms and surveys. Funnels are the backbone of lead conversion. With Marvel CRM, you can build customized funnels that guide potential customers from awareness to action. For example, let's look at our credit repair business funnel. With 4 steps, it's tailored to capture leads effectively. As you can see, we have cancellation, thank you, and other 2 thank you funnels. If I want to edit this specific funnel, I can click on edit. And this page will come up. Whatever I can add, whatever I see here. Let's go on back. Let's move into the forms. Forms are your digital handshakes, the first step in gathering essential information. With Marvel CRM's no-code forms like registration form, for example, you can gather data without any problems. You can also customize fields to fit your precise needs by clicking on that. If I want to add a new element to the form, I can simply click on Add Form Element. And as you can see, we have the personal info, contact info, we have Submit as button, we have integration. We can add address, city, state, and so on. Simply, I'm just gonna, simple as like dragging and dropping. Let's go with this one, for example. And here, I can add my text. It's that simple. I can delete it, I can edit, and so on. Let's go back. Last but not least, we have surveys. With tools like customer satisfaction survey, you can gain insights directly from the source. Our conditional logic ensures you ask the right questions at the right time. As you can see, we have the full name, phone, email, is asking how was the service. Also is asking how likely will you recommend our company to any of your contacts. Again, if I want to change something, I can simply click on the tab, and I can change the name, the placeholder, and so on. If I want to edit something, if I want to add something, I can add a survey, click on the Add Survey button, and I can add anything that can be personal info, address, or customized, such as text, any HTML links, images, and the source, and so on. Moving on to the memberships. Here, we have a bunch of certificates. If I want to add a new certificate, I can click on New. I can either do this by blank or template. I'm going to go with template, and I'm going to go with the second one. As you can see, our certificate template came. And if I want to add something, I can do it by just clicking on them. If I want to add something, either this can be a text or an image, even a signature, I can do it by just dragging and dropping. Going on the reputation. Our reputation features provides a tool for monitoring feedback, responding to reviews, and encouraging customers to share their experiences. As you can see, we can see about last 6 months, last week, this year, this month, and this week. We have the invite goal, review received, and sentiments, average rating, and so on. Next, we have the reporting. In here, we can gain comprehensive understanding of your marketing campaigns, sales activities, and overall business performance with our reporting tools. Let's start with Google Ads. As you can see how many impressions we got, how many clicks we got as well. You can see our conversions with our conversion rate. You can also see amount of money spent on ad as well. Below that, you can see all our campaigns listed with their status. Let's click on this first one. And we can see how many impressions that specific campaign got and how much the client spent. And we can see our average CPC and our conversion rates. Same thing goes with Facebook ads. Here we can see our impressions, clicks, conversion, our amount of money spent on ads, and a campaign as well. Lastly, on the reporting, we have appointment report. Here we can see how many reports are booked, how many reports are confirmed, showed, no show, and canceled. We also have pie chart for that as well, as you can see here. Lastly, Marvelous Workflow CRM is now available on the Apple Store and Google Play via our mobile app, bringing all these powerful features right into your fingertips, wherever you are. And that concludes Marvelous CRM. Thank you.
Thank you, Batu, for the demonstration of the marvelous social CRM software. As we saw in action, there are multiple ways to manage customer relationship management digitally on the marvelous social CRM software system. And that also helps you comply with ISO 9001 requirements. Before we jump to the Q&A session, I would like to share some slides with you to introduce our company, as well as share some more insights about the marvelous social CRM software. Let me tell you about American Workflows enterprise software company on a very high level, just for introductions. And then we'll talk about the marvelous social CRM. And then I know you have questions to Alex about ISO 9001 compliance right after my presentation session, which I'll keep it on a high level. Then we can have the Q&A session and ask questions to Alex so that we can learn more from him about ISO 9001 compliance requirements. American Workflows enterprise software company is a division of Marvelous Workflows Corporation. American Workflows is an enterprise software publisher and software distributor for future-proof enterprise software products for businesses in different sizes. In essence, we help companies digitize and automate their business processes, and that is our mission. And this mission requires learning about businesses, their priorities, as well as their challenges. So we help them address these challenges digitally, help them digitize and business processes to be automated for their daily operations. We are based in US and we have operations globally. We are an Acumatica ISV partner, a custom ERP ISV partner. We are also a Microsoft ISV partner and MYOB Advanced ERP ISV partner. And we are also with Sage Intacct ERP ISV capacity. So we have different technology partnerships, as you can tell. When we look at our proprietary software product range, we have two different workflow automation software platforms. We have a no-code platform, Workflow America no-code software platform. We have also Workflow America low-code software platform. I'll share more information about the marvelous social CRM as part of our enterprise software offering. We also have AI America P3M. It is an AI-powered machine health condition monitoring and predictive maintenance management software. Helps companies monitor their machinery equipment remotely and predictively, and triggers automatic predictive maintenance work orders to eliminate the possibility of downtimes. There is the marvelous APS software, that is advanced manufacturing planning and scheduling software designed specifically for manufacturing companies. Helps plan and schedule manufacturing operations, helps manufacturing companies detect and address bottlenecks, and help companies have a smooth manufacturing planning and operations digitally. So it's a very popular software system in our portfolio, especially for manufacturing companies, both in discrete as well as process manufacturing. There is the marvelous DMS software. DMS stands for Distribution Management System, and it helps companies manage their field distribution operations as well as field sales force operations with the help of geofencing. We are also offering custom ERP system, both for small business edition as well as enterprise business edition, to help small businesses as well as mid-size and enterprise level companies to manage their finances, accounting operations, as well as their operations such as manufacturing, real estate, distribution, construction, and more. And we are specialized in many different industries such as aerospace, aviation, automotive, retail, as well as professional services, nutraceutical, pharmaceutical, and there are many industries that we are specialized and expertise of. So in that sense, we have been helping companies on a daily basis for digitizing and automating their business processes. And all of our software systems, as per my presentation, they are equipped with advanced integration capabilities to integrate with ERP systems, IoT devices, and many other business software systems. So that's who we are and what we do on a very high level as American Workflows enterprise software company. Okay, great. So let's talk about the marvelous social CRM software on a very high level. My colleague Batu performed the demonstration of the software, so you have the understanding. I'll just emphasize certain benefits and features of the software, and then we can jump to the Q&A session in this executive webinar session. So dashboards are designed to help you see your KPIs and monitor your KPIs about your sales opportunities, customer relationship, communication processes, as well as other customer interaction related activities. So it's very, very handy and helpful. Conversations are designed to consolidate and manage customer relations and customer communications in one platform, in one screen. So it makes things much easier, whether you are communicating via email, text messaging, social media, you'll have each client's communications in one screen. And the calendar, is per our demonstration, is also very handy. You can see your coming customer appointments and meetings so that you can prepare accordingly to address those meetings and perform well. Also, the opportunities section is designed to manage your sales opportunities, your pipeline, to be more precise. You can automate your conversation with clients. So the workflow automation is available for your conversations with clients. As Batu demonstrated earlier, you can see all of your communications in the system, and any interaction that you like to automate and digitize, you can also use the automation functionality of the software that's available for you. Especially when we look at the reporting section, you can also see the Google AdWords as well as your LinkedIn advertising, Instagram, and others consolidated and reported to you as per cost per click, cost per view, and other KPIs are available in the system. So you can always go into their websites and see individually. However, when you use the marvelous social CRM software, you can get all these KPIs, all these statistics in one screen. So you don't have to jump from one screen to another. You can see these consolidated results in terms of how you are communicating with the clients via these ads. So you can make managerial decisions quicker, easier, and professionally with the help of this software system. So that's basically the benefit, that you will save time and you can make managerial decisions quicker, faster, and you can also improve the efficiency of your customer interactions. All right, so now we have the Q&A session in place. Let's address your questions. Especially, I received some questions about ISO 9001, and they have to be, addressed by Alex, as our subject matter expert today. Alex, are you there? Okay, great. So Alex is with us. So now let's ask questions. So some of the questions, I know we have limited time, so I'll just ask some of them to Alex. So let's get his professional opinion and his insights, if that's okay. Okay, Alex, you there?
Yes. Mhm.
Okay, perfect. So one of the questions that I received is about ISO 9001 and food and beverage industry. So the question is ISO 9001 good for our food and beverage company?
Well, yes, certainly. That will require the company to have an approved quality management system. However, I would even recommend ISO 22000 for food manufacturing organizations, because they're in that ISO, they're specifically dealing with food safety. And obviously, that's an important aspect for your customers, to make sure that the food is safe. However, again, 80% of what I've discussed under ISO 9001 would apply to the ISO 22000, but it'll have additional requirements for food safety.
Thank you, Alex. Much appreciated. So I know we shared a lot of information with our audience today, and some of them they're asking about some practical information. So, for example, another question that I like to share with you is, Alex, how to train employees for maximum customer satisfaction?
Well, I think um, the management has to instill a company requirement to assure that all employees understand their particular role in satisfying the customer needs. Because I think, again, ISO should flow down from management to all of the workers, but they have to understand what role each worker is playing to address the satisfaction of the customer. And also, I think that since the workers are very much involved in some aspect of the product or the service that the company is providing, they're also capable of making suggestions how to improve the relationship with a customer. And I think that the management should encourage them to speak out and make recommendations and listen to them, because they're dealing closer with a customer. So as long as, again, then that there is this kind of a corporate mentality, okay, that is enforced throughout the organization about customer satisfaction, then I think it can work, and all the employees can partake in this effort to improve the customer satisfaction.
Thank you, Alex. Another question. Let's say this is our last question for this session. There are more questions, but we have limited time. So I think I'm gonna ask other audience and attendees to send you an email. Okay, so the next question is, what is your advice for companies to get certified for ISO 9001? From my understanding, this is especially for companies never been certified before. So where to start?
Yes. Well, the first thing is that they need to establish a quality management system. And obviously, if a company has been in business, they will have some quality management system in place. So that's the starting point. And then based on that, on their existing system, they can build up and add additional functions that are specifically required by ISO. So again, you have to have the basis, because really, if you're a manufacturing company, you really have to have some sort of quality management system. But then if the company is ready for certification, then a gap analysis is done. A gap analysis identifies where the holes are. What pieces or parts of the ISO system is missing from your quality management system. And then there's a plan to gradually add the missing requirements to go for certification. And then the certification is done in 2 stages, stage 1 and stage 2. Stage 1 is basically, do you have all the documents in place to go for certification? And stage 2, which is a much more detailed evaluation, is now really, are you implementing your own quality management system? And are you meeting all of the ISO requirements? So if typically, I think that if you do have in practice a quality management system, then typically within 6 months, you can become ISO certified. So it's not a difficult process, but you have to really stick to it, and management has to make sure that that effort becomes a priority. And if I can add just one more thing, is that your customer may require you to be ISO certified if you're supplying certain components to their system. So sometimes companies don't have a choice but to go after ISO certification.
Thank you, Alex. Much appreciated. Thank you.
Sure.
So for our attendees, our audience, you can see our contact information on the screen. So if you have more questions, you have Alex's email address on the screen. So feel free to send him an email and try to get in touch to benefit from his expertise in ISO 9001 compliance and practices. Alex, thank you very much. Before we finalize today's executive webinar session, do you have final remarks that you'd like to share with us?
Well, I thank you very much for participating. And again, what I want to emphasize is the importance of having a software tool like was presented by Batu to support your ISO certification, because a very important part of it is when you actually have an audit for the certification, you have to show evidence that you're following your own process. And how do you do that? Is you have to save all the information because there's a lot of details that are part of the quality management process. But if you keep the details on pieces of paper or on different laptops and so on, if it's not centralized, then information gets lost. And one tremendous advantage with a tool like that is that everything that the auditor needs to evaluate is available on the tool, so that it makes the actual audit a lot simpler than if you did not have a tool like that. And that's really based on my own experience, which I learned that having a tool helps you achieve certification with a lot less pain. So it's really a recommendation from my end to get at least get some elements of such a great tool.
Alex, thank you again for your time and for sharing your insights. Very important and important information for all the businesses that are watching these executive webinar, and important for us to follow ISO as well as having that structure and complying with ISO 9001. Thank you very much again, and I'm looking forward to having you at our coming executive webinar series.
Thank you very much. It was a real pleasure, Kevin, to be part of this webinar. Thank you.
Thank you very much. While we are ending our executive webinar session, couple of notes, and then you can Also follow, hopefully, our YouTube channel. So we have a very active YouTube channel. We have plenty of videos, and more are coming pretty much on daily basis. So we have videos about digital transformation, customer relationship management, similar to what we talked about earlier, the marvelous CRM, as well as if you are a manufacturing company and if you like to perform the machine maintenance management digitally to eliminate the possibility of factory downtimes, machine downtimes, and unplanned breakdowns. We also have AI America P3M, predictive machine maintenance and machine health condition monitoring software. We also have plenty of videos about that as well. You can see in action. You can request demo meetings, introductions. We are looking forward to hearing from you in that sense. Also, if you are a manufacturing company, if you're interested in improving the capabilities of your company for production planning as well as scheduling and to address bottlenecks, we have the marvelous APS, Advanced Planning and Scheduling software. We have plenty of videos for this software system of ours as well on our YouTube channel. And you can also request a demo meeting for that as well, so we can talk more about your company as well as we introduce you to software solution to address your requirements. And if you like to also digitize and automate your business processes, we have plenty of videos as well for that as well. As for the workflow management, document management, records management, to digitize your business processes. As I mentioned earlier, that is our mission. Our mission is to digitize and automate every single business process in the world. We don't want anything to be manual for businesses. We like to be automated as possible so that you can focus on what is really important for you as a business, as an enterprise. That is the critical part of our mission. We really focus on delivering our mission, and our software systems are our tools, our means to deliver our mission to you, to enterprises, to businesses, small businesses, mid-sized companies, as well as enterprise-grade businesses as well. So please visit our YouTube channel. Please subscribe, and you can follow our videos that we release on daily basis. I'd like to thank you for your time and for your interest, and looking forward to seeing you at our coming executive webinar series. Thank you, and have a great day.
Thank you for attending the executive webinar session. For more information about American Workflows Enterprise Software Company and its enterprise software products, please visit the corporate website at www.americanworkflows.com. Looking forward to seeing you at future executive webinar sessions of American Workflows Enterprise Software Company. Have a great day. Thank you.